Hello students, today we will do atomic structure question part 3. Disclaimer: the images used in our slide deck are for educational purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in the deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. So what we will do today? So we'll practice questions from 19 to 27. That is, we will solve 9 questions for today. Okay. Now, question number 19. Question number 19 says that if the speed of an electron in the Bohr's first orbit of hydrogen atom be x, speed of the electron in third orbit is, your options are A, x by 9, B, x by 3, C, 3x, D, 9x. You have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Okay, now let us see the solution. The question says that if the speed of an electron in the Bohr's orbit of hydrogen atom be x, so you are being given the speed of electron in the first orbit of hydrogen, and it is given as x. And now the speed of electron in third orbit is told to be found in terms of x. Okay, so the correct answer is B. First of all, x by 3. What will the solution? The solution will look like this. So this is the general formula for calculation of velocity of electron in the nth orbit for the element with atomic number z. So it is given by Vn, velocity in the nth orbit, is equals to k times k is a constant here, k times z by n, where z is an atomic number and n is your orbit number. Clear? Okay. Now, if we take it for, say, so it is already given that we are considering hydrogen atom, so z is equals to 1, and if we take z is equals to 1, then we can say that Vn is directly proportional to 1 by n, since k is already constant and z is taken as 1. Now, if you take V1 by V3, that will give you how much? So for V1, it will be 1 by 1. For V3, it will be 1 by 3. So if you take this ratio, that will give you 3:1. Now, V1 is already given as x. Hence, we can say that V3 is equals to x by 3. So V1 value is x. So if you bring this V1 here, V3 here, then it will give you x by 3 as your correct answer. Clear? Very easy to solve. Okay. Now, moving on to next question. Question number 20. Question number 20 says that the ionization enthalpy of hydrogen atom is 1.312 into 10 to the power 6 joule per mole. The energy required to excite the electron in an atom from n is equals to 1 to n is equals to 2 is, your options are A, 7.56 into 10 to the power 5 joule per mole, B, 9.84 into 10 to the power 5 joule per mole, option C, 8.51 into 10 to the power 5 joule per mole, and option D, 6.56 into 10 to the power 5 joule per mole. Okay, now you have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Let us see the solution, how we can solve it. What is the question? So the question says that your ionization enthalpy for hydrogen atom is given. So hydrogen atom contains one electron. So the energy required to take the electron from the gaseous phase of hydrogen. Hydrogen is already present in the gas phase in the normal condition. So it is basically the energy that is required to remove the electron from the first orbit of the gaseous hydrogen atom. And this value is given as 1.312 into 10 to the power 6 joule per mole. So you have to see that what is the energy that is required to excite the electron in an atom from n is equals to 1 to n is equals to 2. So you have to find that if you are to do this transition, which is from 1 to 2, if you are to transit this electron from n is equals to 1 orbit, first orbit, to the second orbit, then what will be the energy that is required? The correct answer is B, 9.84 into 10 to the power 5 joule per mole. So what is the meaning of ionization enthalpy here? So we can say that we are pulling out the electron from the atom, and in terms of your nucleus, we can say that we are moving the electron to the infinity energy. Okay, infinite energy. Okay, not infinite energy, to the infinite orbit. Did you get my point? So what I am saying that initially the electron was in the effect of the nucleus. Now if you pull this electron out of the atom, then in terms of your nucleus, your electron will be in the infinite orbit. So keeping that in mind, we have used this formula. So initial energy was E1, and we have put it into infinite energy, that is your ionization energy will be E infinite minus E1. Clear? Now the energy in the infinite orbit is 0 because the electron has no influence of nucleus, so it is in the free state. Whereas E1 is kept as usual, so this will give you minus E1. So your ionization energy is nothing but the energy of the first orbit. Now how will calculate the energy of the first orbit? We know a formula also for hydrogen atom. So it is 1.312 into 10 to the power 6 by Z square, joule per mole. So in terms of joule per mole. So this value is already given. Okay, so this thing is already given. You don't have to remember this. So sometimes students do remember this value, but since it is already mentioned to take this value as this much, so we have kept it this much. Now when we take Z is equals to 2, your E2 will become how much? So why are we calculating E2? Because we have to do the transition from E1 to E2. So if you know the energy of E2 and if you know the energy of E1, then you can calculate that extra energy which is required to push that electron to E2. So what is E2? What will be E2 here? So E2 will be about minus 1.312 into 10 to the power 6 by 2 square. Now here Z is equals to, sorry, N is equals to 2. Okay, not Z. Sorry for the confusion. So this is N. So N is equals to 2. That will bring you 2 square joule per mole. Now the final energy state is E2. Initial energy state was E1. So we can write it as E2 minus E1. That is 1 by 2 square minus 1 by 1 square. This thing will be in common. Hence, your correct answer will be 9.84 into 10 to the power 5 joule per mole if you calculate this thing. Clear? Okay. Now, moving on to next question. Question number 21. Question number 21 says that your ionization energy for helium plus ion is 1.96 into 10 to the power minus 18 joule per atom. Okay, so if you have to remove an electron from helium, okay, to bring to keep that to helium plus, you will require this much energy. The energy of the first stationary state, n is equals to 1 of lithium 2 plus is, your options are A 4.41 into 10 to the power minus 16 joule per atom, B minus 4.41 into 10 to the power minus 17 joule per atom, option C minus 2.2 into 10 to the power minus 15 joule per atom, and option D 8.82 into 10 to the power minus 17 joule per atom. So you have basically 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Let us see the solution. The question says that the ionization energy of helium plus is given. So as I mentioned it earlier also, so it is basically the energy which is required to make the state of helium to helium plus, that is removal of one electron. So that to bring helium to to transit helium to helium 2 plus of one atom, we require this much amount of energy. Okay, so we have to calculate the stationary state, energy of the stationary state for the first stationary state for the helium lithium 2 plus ion. The correct option is B, which is minus 4.41 into 10 to the power minus 17 joule per atom. So this is for those who have solved it. Now again, we know that ionization energy is equals to E1, because ionization energy is equals to E infinity minus E1. Okay, but since we have taken the electron out of the orbit, so E infinity will be 0. And E1 for helium plus is already given, which is 90 minus 19.6 into 10 to the power minus 18. Clear? Okay. Now we can say that E1 of helium plus by E1 of lithium 2 plus is equals to the Z of helium 2 plus square by Z of lithium 2 plus square. So we have taken that formula Z, since it is directly proportional to Z. So we have taken Z square of helium plus by Z square of lithium 2 plus. Clear? So why we have not changed the orbit? Because we are removing the electron from the same orbit, hydrogen, helium, lithium, right? So we have taken it same. Okay. Now, moving on further, what we can say. So what we are doing, so this is basically your ionization energy of helium plus. Okay, so sorry for the confusion here. So helium plus means what? We are plugging the electron from helium plus and not from helium. So the transition here is basically He plus to He2 plus. Okay, so this thing is being mistaken here. Sorry for that. So what I'm saying is that we are moving from helium plus to helium 2 plus. Clear? Okay. So for helium 2 plus, we have done this calculation. Similarly, we are calculating, we have to calculate the energy state for lithium 2 plus. Clear? So lithium 2 plus energy state we have to calculate. So lithium 2 plus means 2 electrons are already removed. We have only 1 electron. So we have to calculate it for the first orbit only here also. So when we remove the electron from helium plus, so there are 2 electrons in helium plus, right? So we will remove the electron from the first orbit. Similarly, from lithium 2 plus, we will also do the same thing. Now, keeping all those things in mind, we'll put this value accordingly. N is equals to 1 for both of this. So this will bring to this conclusion that your ratio will simply depend upon the atomic number. Now E1 of He plus is given, which is this, and on calculating all of this, you will get your E1 of lithium 2 plus as 4.41 into 10 to the power minus 17 joule per atom. Clear? Okay. Now moving on to next question. Question number 22. Question number 22 says that the wavelength of a neutron with a translatory kinetic energy equal to kT at 300 Kelvin is, options are 17.8 picometer for option A, option B 220.0 picometer, option C 200 picometer, and option D 178 picometer. So you have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Okay, now let us see the solution. So what is the question that has been asked? The question is saying that we have to find the wavelength of neutron, and its kinetic energy is already given, which is kT, and the temperature is given 300 Kelvin. For those who have solved, the correct option is D, which is 178 picometer. Now let us see the solution. So it is already given that Ke is equals to your kinetic energy, means kinetic energy is kT, or we can say it as RT by N naught also. So we have calculated this value. So K is equals to R by N naught. So it is basically your what? It is your R divided by N naught, and R is here is the gas constant. Clear? And N naught is your Avogadro number. If you put all these values, temperature 300 Kelvin, R 8.31413, 8.3143 joule per mole per Kelvin, and this value 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 per mole, then we will get this thing as 4.143 to 10 to the power minus 21 joule. Okay, so this is your kinetic energy value. Next, what is the mass of neutron? It is this much, which is 1.67495 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. And from de Broglie wavelength, we know that lambda is equals to h by mv. If you just try to find your kinetic energy, then its formula is also half mv square. Then we can write in place of mv, we can write this thing, which is root under 2m kinetic energy. Okay, we can write this thing. Now putting all this value, h here, okay, 2 mass of your neutron, which is 1.67, it is already been said here, and your kinetic energy, whose value we have calculated. If you put all these things, you will get your value as 1.778 into 10 to the power minus 8 meter. Further, if you just convert it to picometer, you will get it as 177.8 picometer, or approximately 178 picometer. So this is your correct answer. Now moving on to next question. Question number 23. Question number 23 says that your energy of an electron is given by E is equals to 2.178 into 10 to the power minus 18 z square by n square. Wavelength of light required to excite an electron in the hydrogen atom from level n is equals to 1 to L is equals to 2 will be. Options are A 2.816 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter. Option B 6.500 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter. Option C 8.500 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter. And option D 1.214 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter. So you have basically 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Okay, now let us see the solution. So what is being given already? So it is already written that your energy of electron can be calculated in this way. And what you have to find is the light that you will radiate on hydrogen atom, that the electron present in that atom will gain enough energy so that it will do a transition from n is equals to 1 to n is equals to 2. The correct option is D 1.214 into 10 to the power minus 7, which for those who have solved meter, so it will be in meter. The explanation is delta E is equals to hc by lambda. Okay, delta E is equal to hc by lambda. It's very easy to know. So E is equal to h nu, delta E is equals to h nu. So how we have written this? Because delta is what? Delta E is basically the energy gap between n is equals to 1 to n is equals to 2. And we have to do the transition by applying this much energy. And for calculating the energy of this much magnitude, we simply calculate by using the formula hc by lambda. Okay, now we know the formula for delta E. It is being given here that the energy of a orbit is this much. So for doing a transition, we have to see the difference in these two orbits. Okay, so we have put this thing 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square, and this thing is already given. Putting all these values, h, value of h, c, lambda we have to calculate. This thing is already given. You have to do the transition from 1, so 1, and since it is for hydrogen atom, so z is equals to 1 and this is equals to 2. This will give you a lambda value of 1.214 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter. So this is your correct option, which is option number D. Clear? Now moving on to next question. Question number 24. Question number 24 says that a gas absorbs photon of 355 nanometer and emits at two wavelengths. If one of the emission is at 680 nanometer, the other is at, options are A 1035 nanometer, option B 325 nanometer, option C 743 nanometer, and option D 518 nanometer. Now you have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Okay, now let us see the solution. What is the solution? First of all, the question says that You have a gas that is absorbing a photon whose wavelength is given, and on doing this it emits two wavelengths. And if one of the emission is already given, its value is given, it is at wavelength which is equal to 680 nanometer, we have to find it for the other one. So we know, so for those that solved the question, the answer is C, 743 meter. What is the explanation? Let us see. So the energy value is always additive, we know it, right? Therefore, E total will be how much? E1 plus E2. So first wavelength is given. Okay, sorry. Yeah, first the energy for the wavelength for first is given. Okay. For second, we have to calculate. And initial value is also given. So this is the energy that is being absorbed by the gas. So this much energy will be emitted because the energy is always additive in nature. So energy for this much nanometer is hc by lambda, which is 1 by 355. Hc is being cancelled for all of this, so 111 is written here. Now lambda is 355. The first value is given, which is 680 nanometer. So it is written here 680 nanometer. We don't know it for lambda 2. Hence, we can calculate the lambda 2 in this fashion. So lambda 2 will be equals to 7. So if you just simply carry out this calculation, you will get this as 742.94 nanometer or 743 nanometer. Okay. So in this way, you will solve this question and get your answer as C, 743 nanometer. Moving on to the next question. Question number 25. Question number 25 says that the energy required to break 1 mole of Cl bonds in Cl2 is 242 kilojoule per mole. The longest wavelength of light capable of breaking a single ClCl bond is, options are A, 594 nanometer, option B, 640 nanometer, option C, 700 nanometer, and option D, 494 nanometer. So you have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Okay, now let us see the solution. What is the question? So the question is saying that you have to give 242 kilojoule to break 1 mole of ClCl bond. Now you have to find that how much energy will be required to break one ClCl bond. Okay, so this question is as simple as that. Sorry, you have to calculate the wavelength of that light, not the energy. The longest wavelength means the uh, minimum energy that will be required. Okay, now your answer is D. For those who have solved, is 494 nanometer. So what is the energy that is required to break one Cl2 bond? Very simple. So for Na number of atoms, it is given as 242 kilojoule per mole. So for one atom, it will be 242 in 10 to the power 23. You have calculated converted into joule divided by the Na value. Now this is your energy. So what will be the energy? What will be the wavelength? So E is equal to hc by lambda. Lambda is equal to hc by E. Okay. Proceeding further, if you put the value of h here, C, and your E value is calculated here. 242 10 to the power 23 into 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. Clear? If you just calculate this, you will get the value as 494 into 10 to the power minus 9 meter. Hence, we can write this in nanometer, which is 494 nanometer. This question is clear to you? Okay. Now moving on to next question. Question number 26. Question number 26 says that a photon of 300 nanometer is absorbed by a gas, okay, which then re-emits two photons. One re-emitted as wavelength of 496 nanometer. The wavelength of other re-emitted photon is how much? Options are A, 300 nanometer, option B, 496 nanometer, option C, 759 nanometer, and option D, 550 nanometer. So you have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Okay, now let us see the solution. The question says that you are just radiating a gas with 300 nanometer light, which whose wavelength is 300 nanometer, and upon doing this, you are getting two photons back from the gas. Okay, so out of these two photons, one photon has a wavelength of 496 nanometer, and you have to find the wavelength for the other photon. For those that solve the question, the answer is C, 759 nanometer. So what is the photon energy that is being what is the wavelength of the photon that is being absorbed? It is 300 nanometer. And for the emitted out, for the first photon emitted out is 496 nanometer. Let us assume, so for that, now we are assuming that the energy of second photon that will be emitted, it is lambda h. So applying simply law of conservation of energy, total energy that is being absorbed will be the total energy that is re-emitted out. Very simple to know or very simple to analyze. Hence, the energy that is absorbed is hc by 300 into 10 to the power minus 9, that is hc by lambda, is equals to hc by lambda of the first photon. So your total energy will be the energy that is the energy of first photon plus the energy of second photon, and that will the energy that you have radiated the gas with. So we have used that simple logic. Hence, for the first orbit, for the first photon, your energy will be hc by lambda. Lambda value is 496 nanometer. Convert this into meter plus hc by lambda h, where lambda h is what? Lambda h is the wavelength of the second photon that is re-emitted. Okay, so in this way you can calculate lambda h, and that will come out to be 759 10 into 10 to the power minus 9 meter, or 759 nanometer. So this is your correct answer. Moving on to next question. Question number 27. Question number 27 says that which of the following is the energy of a possible excited state of hydrogen? Your options are A, 13.6 electron volt, option B, minus 6.8 electron volt, option C, minus 3.4 electron volt, and option D, plus 6.8 electron volt. So you have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Okay, now let us see the solution. How we'll solve it. What is the question? The question says that which of the following is the energy of possible excited state of hydrogen? So you can have only possible excited state, which will be according to a formula. Okay, so the correct answer is C, which is 3.4 into 3 point minus 3.4 electron volt. So this is the correct option. How we'll solve it? So this is the maximum population. Okay, this is the maximum population, which is n is equals to 1, which is the ground state. Now, maximum population of electron of hydrogen atom is at 1. Therefore, population of electron at the ground state, same thing is mentioned. So if you want to see the excitation, so the possible excitation you will always see will be from n is equals to 1 to n is equals to 2. Right? So this is the most probable transition. Hence, n is equals to 2 is the possible excited state. Is this thing clear? Now, next, how we'll solve it further? So we already know the formula for energy of hydrogen atom, which is given as minus 13.6 z square by n square in terms of electron volt. So this thing is in terms of electron volt, where z is what? Your atomic number, and for z atomic number is 1, and n value is already 1. Clear? Sorry, n value is 2. Okay, so yeah, we have known it now. So we have done the transition to 2, so n value is 2. So putting all these things, so En of H will be minus 13.6 1 by 2 square electron volt. That will give you minus 3.4 electron volt as your correct answer. Clear? So with this part of this questions are solved in this way. Thank you.